right? So I was just noticing, right, in nature, right, in the spring, this season, the spring, right, when it comes around to this season, right, all the sort of natural creatures go to mate, right? The insects, the birds, presumably the sort of mammal life as well, and the plants and flowers all sort of spring forth, right? So this is the sort of spring season, right? So you've got this COVID virus idea, right? And this sort of goes back to the Prince Philip, where he was going on about the, coming back as a virus and sort of wiping out, a lot of the world's population or something, right? So, if you remember the video piece, the sort of interviewer asks, like, how is this going to happen? And he says, or she says, whatever, voluntary population control, right? Voluntary population control, something along them lines anyway, right? So, right, this is a hex, right, that comes over the TV, right? So the hex has to be bought into, right, by the sort of by the mind, right? It has to be bought into, right? So therefore, you see, this hex is basically, voluntary population control, right? Because obviously one of the aims of this was to sort of stop the naturals, right? Because remember, they view naturals as animals, right? And part of nature, right? So obviously one of the aims of this hex was to sort of coincide with the spring season, right? To stop the sort of naturals from going forth to mate, like, you know what I mean? Going forth to mate come the sort of spring season, right? Which is in effect voluntary population control, right? And another interesting factor, right, which could be a possibility. I'm not saying it is, but it's a possibility, right? Is that this was supposed to happen when coming back as a virus and all that, right? This was supposed to happen when Prince Philip died, right? So you've got the possibility, right, that Prince Philip has died, right? I'm not saying it's a definitely, but it's a possibility. Of course, with these people and that, they're not going to tell you straight out. They're going to sort of, wait for a sort of ritualistic moment or whatever to break the news and all that. And the Queen did do one speech. It was, after this hex had started up and all that, and the Queen did do a speech and sort of kept the, if it had happened, the Queen kept a very sort of cool exterior and sort of stoic face or whatever, but that's what they do anyway. See, that's what they're sort of known for and all that, pride themselves on anyway. You see what I mean? So it is a possibility that that's happened. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be too surprised if that comes about in the forthcoming, weeks or whatever. Just a possibility, like not definite, but see what I mean? That so the sort of this COVID thing ties in with the stopping basically the naturals going forth to mate, of the sort of natural instincts and all that. But another thing about it, right, is the COVID, right, the vid idea and the sort of video links and video screens, right. I was looking on this sort of through the stuff on the internet and all that, right, and they sort of have this these what do you call it, video link sites, right, and there's one called Chatterbait, right, Chatterbait, which is obviously a mix of chat and you know what sort of thing, you know what I mean? You can work that one out, right? Chatterbait. So that's like a video link site, right? And I've never been on it. Like I was just looking through the things, right? And so what you do on this is go on and pay and all that, right? And you chat and fiddle with yourself, right? To like people who are across the screen, right? But I looked at some photographs, right, and there's no doubt they're all Masons and they're all tea drinkers, and in fact, obviously you've got like a special section of teas and all that. So it's like, you know what I mean? that maybe just to, you know, coincide with it, right? Because if you take the idea that the sort of natural animal is bursting for sex or whatever, you see what I mean, and they're not allowed to go out their house type of thing, they'll turn to the video screen and sort of, you know, go onto these video links and be exposed to more tea drinkers, you see what I mean? So it all, you know, it's been a very sort of clever run up and build up and that over the past few years into the phase what it's in now, you see what I mean? All ties together, like, see what I mean?